Hello my dear Libras and welcome to your weekly card pull. My name is Alexa. I go by alexab.alchemy. Today I'm going to be doing a reading actually for the entire month of May of 2023. So if you have a Libra sun, moon, rising, and or north node, this one is for you. Something to keep in mind, if you haven't already checked out the videos for your other signs or your other big three, make sure that you go ahead and do that after this video, just especially if you want a little bit of extra clarification on anything. Today I have 3 decks. I have 2 Oracle decks and 1 Tarot deck, so I'm going to be starting out with Oracle, and then we'll move into Tarot if that feels necessary. So my dear Libras, first question that I always like to ask: what perspectives might be helpful? What guidance would be useful? What themes might you be looking at for this upcoming month? And for you, my dear Libras, for the month of May, I pulled a lot of cards in reverse. It looks like your spirituality might be a bit of a theme. It might be a subtle theme, but I do feel like your relationship to your spiritual side or your spiritual self might be something that you're going to want to pay a little bit of extra or a little bit of closer attention to. So the first 2 cards that are standing out to me, I have Celestite and I have Petalite. Now, the card of Celestite is, and I love that these, like, thematically, in terms of their color, there's a lot of similarities, but Celestite is really an encouragement to connect with the angelic realm. If you are into meditation or prayer, flow state, like whatever you want to call it, that is something that I think will be really beneficial for you, especially, I'm getting like, especially for you Libras, when you get stressed out or when anything challenging comes up in this upcoming month. I would hands down just go straight to meditation and or prayer, something that's going to connect you to the higher realms if that is something that you subscribe to. If not, like just connecting with earth, connecting with whatever it is that you feel a sense of, I want to say reverence to, but wherever it is that you get your power, even if that is within yourself, connection to that on a spiritual and energetic level is going to be like paramount for your development. I did also pull for you guys, as noted, the card of Petalite. This card is kind of like the impersonal, healthy, detached quality. So in this process of your spirituality, I do feel like you're going to be encouraged to kind of take a step out of your current lived experience. Maybe you're understanding that, like, where you are right now, especially if you're feeling super immersed in it, like if you've been really emotional and just everything is feeling heavy, taking a step out and kind of like detaching from your experience, again, not for the sake of neglecting your experience, not for the sake of being sociopathic or psychopathic, but just enough so that you can kind of see things from the bird's eye view, maybe tapping into, if you have any Sagittarius in your chart, really tapping into that, just getting a little bit of space from your experience might be necessary. Now, this is going to be really interesting because we are in Taurus season, at least for the first half of May, and Taurus is all about getting grounded and getting rooted and getting in touch with your physical experience, especially, and figuring out how to make that sustainable. And I feel like for you, I mean, you are a Libra, and so Libra is going to be about finding the balance between getting grounded, being in your body, being in your experience, and also, like, as far as you go down, you're also going to need to go up. And as far as you go up, you're going to need to go down. So in order for you to have this connection to the higher realms, to the more angelic realms, you're also going to have to get rooted. And in order for you to get rooted, you're going to need to call in your guidance or your team or your connections or whatever, so that you can expand in both directions. Because if you're only expanding in one, it's only going to take you so far. Your roots have to go down for your branches to go out, you know, and your branches are going to go out to get more oxygen to allow you to continue growing. So it's this whole cycle. That was probably a really terrible analogy, but whatever, it's already been made. But it's really important for you, I feel like, to find a sense of balance. Yeah, classic Libra. All of the other cards that I pulled, by the way, from this deck, I will warn you, were in reverse. So reverse is basically like upside down. Anytime cards are reversed, they're asking you to look a little bit more closely at yourself, at your own experience, rather than, especially if you've been like projecting your experience out onto other people. This is a really good time for you to kind of turn the mirror inward and look at yourself and saying, okay, is this any shadow of mine? Am I projecting this, or is this true to me? So the first card that's really speaking to me right now, I actually have 2 that are really speaking to me. I have Spirit Quartz and I have Petrified Wood. Again, both in reverse. So the card of Spirit Quartz is about connecting to community, especially conscious community. I feel like, again, because this is reverse, a lot of this might be a bit of an internal process. Like maybe for you, it's about energetically like opening up. Maybe for you, you want to sit down and journal. Like if you're feeling a little bit alone, or maybe you want to connect spiritually with yourself or with other people, but that's a struggle for you, like write out a prayer, write out a request to your guides, to your God, to your spirit, whatever, earth, like whatever it is that you connect with, asking to receive and opening up that space. Again, energetically, this is something that starts with you in order for those connections to flow in. If you have been feeling a little bit isolated, those connections are really important. I do feel like, my Libras, I feel like you need those. You need those people in your life that you can ground with, those people that you can connect with on a really deep spiritual level, whatever that may look like to you. And to create that for yourself, you have to open up that space. Yeah, there's also a level of like cooperation and harmony. So if you've been feeling like you've had disharmonious connections with people, maybe creating space with those connections so that you are not investing all of your energy into relationships that feel one-sided or that feel empty. Again, Libra, you're all about balance. So be mindful of the way that you're investing in others and the way that they're investing in you. And also just know that balance doesn't exist without imbalance. So sometimes you will give more to a friendship and sometimes you will take more from a friendship, and that is okay. You want to make sure that you feel like it's even in the long run though. So just make sure that you get clear with your relationships and establish that you are getting your needs met in that way. Okay, so in the reverse, again, Petrified Wood, this card is about patience and your relationship specifically to time and trusting in universal timing and trusting in the flow of things and in the flow of time. So for some of you, I feel like maybe you've had a bit of an impatient streak, or maybe you've been like waiting for something to come in, and maybe you've just been really impatient with yourself. If that's the case, you are being encouraged to slow down. Taurus season is all about slowing down and getting grounded. So slow down and allow life to have its process. Allow life to take its time. Trees don't grow, in one night. Like the process of growth to create something that is sustainable and sturdy and long lasting is not going to happen super quickly. So you need to be okay with the fact that maybe you need to give yourself a little bit more time and give things time to unfold. I do feel like it's also related to the next card that I pulled, which is Apache Tears. I love this card so much. This was actually one of the scariest cards for me when I first got this deck, because this card is about, in some degree, like grief, but it's not about the needing to grieve. It's about releasing grief. And if you've been holding on to something, especially in the reverse, I feel like some of you, maybe you're holding on to a past version of yourself or a piece of your life or a piece of your narrative. I'm getting narrative really strongly for some of you. We are moving into Gemini season at the end of May. So your thoughts, your narratives, your ideas, that's going to be a little bit more at the forefront towards the end of the month. So if you notice at the end of the month, like some narratives that you're like, wow, I don't love this, or I don't really want to carry this. Apache Tears comes up when it's time for us to release that grief, to release that chapter, to release that heaviness. So that heaviness, if you've been carrying it or you feel yourself like starting to carry it, know that it's kind of on its way out. And that process also takes time. So if you've been feeling like, wow, this like has taken a really long time for me to get over this person or this relationship or this loss or something, then that is okay. It does take time for those things to unfold. And also, it does take you having this conscious choice, this like conscious willingness to release those things that don't serve your kingdom, if you will, now. I did also pull lithium quartz and spessartine garnet. So lithium quartz is all about peacefulness, harmonious connections. So this one and spirit quartz, I feel like, are both kind of implying this need for you to just connect with your community. I feel like especially this process of grief, while it is a very internal process, it might be something that you want to welcome other people into your journey on. I don't know how else to say that. This can be public or this can be done with like one or two people. I think that's going to be up to you how you want to share it. But I would make sure that you have, good healthy boundaries with who you're sharing it with and why. But yeah, my dear Libras, I feel like there are some things that you need to release, and you need to allow other people to celebrate that too. Like allow them to celebrate that process of letting go. And also to bear witness to it. And in doing that, again, you're opening up space, letting go of these things that just like don't apply to you anymore, these things that really have no purpose in your life at this point. They don't serve you. They don't serve your next chapter. When you let those go, you create that space for those other connections to come in. And I feel like that is going to be really important for you. And I'm going to keep coming back to that theme because that theme seems really important for you. And finally, again, Spencer Dean Garnick. This one is about your own personal charm, your own charisma, your own flair, if you will. The things that make you yourself in a almost like a flamboyant way, like what is great about you, and being willing to share that and to show that off. Because it's in reverse, I feel like a lot of this is not for the sake of other people. This is for the sake of yourself. This is for the sake of you. Okay, I feel like some of you need to build connections. You need to build strong connections with people who love you and support you and are going to care about you. And you can't do that if you are hiding the piece of you that you want to be seen. So you have to be willing to share this piece of yourself and to allow others to see it and to receive it. And those who are going to be supportive on your journey, those who are going to help you in your development, your personal development, your spiritual development, those people are going to be attracted to that. And you owe it to yourself. This is not you doing this as a gift to other people. This is you doing it for yourself. This is you giving to yourself space for that piece of you to come forward and to exist. And you are creating the opportunity for other people to fall in love with that, to see that, to be magnetized to that, to love that piece of yourself and that space that you are creating. That is going to inspire others to do the same. And it's also going to inspire you to continue living from that really beautiful heart-centered place. I feel like I want to pull out one more card. There it is. Hematite in reverse. Okay, getting grounded, getting more closely connected to earth, more closely connected to, it's so funny. I was like, so funny. I was like, get connected to the angelic realm, go up, and then hematite, go down. Funny how one is upright, one is reverse. So I kind of feel like in order for you to get closer to yourself and closer to your heart, if you are craving intimacy with yourself, self-understanding, self-awareness, allowing yourself to be seen, you need to go both ways, for lack of a better word. You have to root yourself, you have to ground yourself, and you have to also be open to these experiences that are coming through. Maybe things that you've been channeling or things that you're, there were a lot of purple cards in here, so a lot of like 7th chakra, like vision, I don't know, like just your spiritual journey seems really important for you, particularly this. It's kind of all that I feel like I need to say about that. From my next deck, which is my Moonology deck, I want to ask like what methods, what containers would be useful, like what, I guess what methods of living would be helpful for you guys, my dear Libras, to establish the things that you need to establish, these connections with the higher realm and also deeper within yourself. So we have, okay, full moon in Capricorn, upright, full moon in Cancer, reverse, new moon in Libra, reverse. So, you are ending a cycle. I feel like you need to get in touch with the fact, again, Apache Tears, going back to that Apache Tears, you are ending a cycle. You are closing something out. You are closing out a chapter. We just started the new astrological year, Aries season, so that was like a month ago, a little bit over a month ago. So we have closed a chapter and we are moving into another chapter. And if there are final pieces of that old chapter that you need to let go of, this is a really beautiful time to do that. We have a full moon on May 5th. I can't keep all the dates in my head right now. There is a full moon coming up this upcoming the first week of May, and full moons are a really beautiful time to release and surrender that which is not serving you, that which is not growing you, that which is not benefiting your journey. So I feel like there's a lot of challenge, like there's a lot of stress that you guys have been under, or a lot of negativity connections. I'm getting like really strongly that there's just some connections that like aren't serving you, and you have a really beautiful opportunity to let that go. And that is marking the end of a tough cycle. Like your choice to let go of these types of relationships or these types of people, or your reliance on giving a certain level of yourself in order to receive. Like Libra, baby, you're all about balance. Like I have new moon in Libra in reverse. So your card, the beginning of a new cycle for you specifically, like you are starting a new cycle, period. End of story. You get to decide what you want to incorporate and what you want to include in this next cycle, and what you want to say, I no longer resonate with this, I cannot accept this, I need something more, I need something different, you know, like you get to decide that. This, for some reason, the new moon in Libra also implies something about a romantic cycle. So again, I feel like this applies to your connections. It doesn't have to be your romantic connections, but for some of you, I do feel like that might be a theme that you are looking at. I do have a full moon in Cancer, so I feel like for some of you, maybe those connections are with your mom or a maternal figure. Maybe it's not, if it doesn't feel like the romantic cycle feels prevalent to you, maybe looking at the figures in your life that you see through the eyes of I don't know, like a maternal lens, basically. The full moon in Cancer in reverse, let's see here, personal issue reaches resolution. So there is definitely a culmination. Because this was in reverse, this might also have to do with yourself. So maybe this nurturing maternal piece of yourself, maybe you've been giving too much, you've been nurturing other people too much, and you need to allow other people to be nurturing you now, and you need to allow space in your life for those types of people to come through, especially romantically. If that feels resonant, my dear Libras, this is a really beautiful time that you have to ask for those things. Ask for those things that you need and allow those to come through, and allow them to come through fully, because I do feel like you will benefit from their presence, and it might be a little bit challenging at first. It might be a little bit foreign, it might feel a little bit strange, but ultimately that is going to be really healing for you. A few more cards are flying out. I don't feel like, maybe we'll do tarot, I don't know, but these ones really want to be spoken. So cardinal mood, be bold and make the first move in the upright. So you have to be the one to initiate these changes. No one's going to do this for you. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to make the changes, call the shots. It doesn't mean, okay, there's a lot of interesting. Taurus season is, again, about sustainability, putting plans into action. So I do have new moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. So there is encouragement with this. Like you deciding when you want to make a move, you deciding when you're going to make a change, like that is, you are planting a seed right now. You're planting a seed, and as soon as you do that, you're opening up space for that prosperity. The good thing about that, your commitment is being tested. Nothing is yet set in stone. So you might see that, you know, things feel like they're subject to change, which they are, which is the beautiful thing about planting new seeds, is you don't have to move forward to things if they don't feel resonant, but you have the opportunity right now to create new doors, to open new doors, to create new spaces, for new things to come in. And your commitment to yourself, maybe at times like that feels like it's tested, or you have the opportunity to understand what it is that you really want. And finally, new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. I do feel like really understanding what it is that you want out of your life, meditating on those things, giving yourself the room to really like identify what's important for you. Another card, North Nodes, step out of your comfort zone, like really just getting clear about what you want, being willing to be a little bit uncomfortable. This is gonna ultimately, I keep dropping cards. Okay. Yeah, this is going to create space for you. So my dear Libras, I'm feeling called to close out with that. I feel like that was enough information for you. Be willing to get uncomfortable. You know, the more that you're willing to bring all these elements of yourself forward, go as far down as you are willing to go as far up, and vice versa. And making sure that you have connections that support that process and facilitate that process. I feel like for the month of May, that's going to be really, really important, really big themes for you, and that's going to help you to establish the level of balance that it is that you seek and your soul is naturally craving. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really hope that this was helpful. If you have questions, you want clarity on anything, please shoot me a message, let me know. Make sure that if this video was helpful, you subscribe, comment, give me a little thumbs up at the very least so that I know it resonated. And you can also, if you feel like it resonated and you want extra tidbits or anything, you're always welcome to message me. Again, you can find me here, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at alexab.alchemy. I do a reading every single week. I am trying to do a reading for all the signs at least once a month, and if I have enough demand for them, I will continue to do them on a weekly basis. So yeah, all right, my dears, I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers and have a good one. Bye.